Good afternoon, dear students. I'm so delightful to see you all safe and sound after your winter holidays. I hope they were all fruitful and eventful and you had a fantastic time holidaying. As you remember, your home task was to choose one Nordic country and prepare information about it. Lesa, what country did you choose?
I choose Sakha.
You chose Sakha. Oh, Yakusha. Lera, what country did you choose?
I choose Alaska.
You chose Alaska. Vlad?
I chose Svalbard, Norway.
You chose Svalbard, which is an archipelago of Norway. Vladimir, what was your choice?
Finland.
Sashenka?
I chose Alaska.
And finally, Angelina, what was your choice?
I choose Fukuoka.
So, all in all, you chose Sakha, Alaska, Svalbard, Finland, Alaska, and Shikoka. Well done, thank you. Well, now I have an interesting question for you. You all noted about lots of different countries or territories where the polar lights can be seen. What are the territories are there in the world where this atmospheric phenomenon can be observed? No ideas? Well, as you might know from the presentation which I created, the name for aurora borealis is the polar lights. It means that such atmospheric phenomenon can be observed not only in the northern but also in the southern hemispheres. There is indeed two types of polar lights. The northern lights, which is noted by the fancy name aurora borealis, and the southern lights, or aurora australis. Now your task will be to look at the slides of the presentation carefully and note those countries or territories in the southern hemisphere only where these polar lights can be observed. The question for you, should you list the countries and territories from the northern hemisphere?
No, we should mention only countries from the south.
So watch the PowerPoint presentation carefully and note those countries and territories from the southern hemisphere only where aurora australis may be observed. So, the northern hemisphere. The northern lights, or aurora borealis, may be observed at the American state of Alaska, at Yukon, Northwestern Territories, Nunavut, Quebec, and Newfoundland and Labrador provinces of Canada. Then in Greenland, which is an island of Denmark, in Iceland, Svalbard or archipelago of Norway, Sweden and Finland. Also in northwestern, the Ural, the Siberian and the far eastern federal districts of Russia. As for the southern hemispheres, the aurora australis or southern lights may be observed in New Zealand, in such provinces of Australia such as Victoria, Tasmania, South and Western Australia. Also at the Falkland Islands, in Argentina, mainly in Tierra del Fuego province, in Iceland and the Magallanes region of Chile, and also in Antarctica. may also observe aurora from space, or ISS, which stands for International Space Station. So it looks in the northern hemisphere, the aurora borealis, and in the southern hemisphere, or the aurora australis. And that marks the end of our presentation, and I hope you liked it very much. Well, I hope you managed to list all countries and territories in the southern hemisphere when aurora australis might be observed. Lesa, what country or territory did you manage to list?
Antarctica.
So you managed to list Antarctica. Lera, what was your choice?
Chile.
Chile, right. Vlad?
Australia.
Australia, correct. Vladimir?
New Zealand.
Sasha, what's your choice?
The Falkland Islands.
The Falkland Islands, yes, correct. And Angelina, yours?
Argentina.
Argentina, correct. Well, you managed to cope with the task correctly. So, as globetrotters, you discovered new enticing destinations for your future travels and holidays. My warm praise for your active participation, and now we are moving on onto our next and main stage of this lesson, which is writing. I'd ask you to write an informal letter to your friend describing your winter holidays. You should write where have you been, what you have already done, what you are doing now, and what is planned for the rest of the tour. I see that all of you received regular handouts, and I've prepared special handouts for you, Angelina and Vladimir. They are handouts with enlarged fonts. Please take informal register handout and informal letter map. So, you will be writing a letter to a friend. When we are writing to people whom we know well, or people of our age, we use informal register. We don't use formal register here. Over here, on our board, and also in your handouts, please look at 6 main features or characteristics of informal register. They are colloquialism, slang, contractions, spoken discourse markers, free punctuation, and the use of elliptical sentences. I'll give you 5 minutes to look at this handout, and then I'll ask you certain questions about what these features mean, how to explain them, and possibly to provide some examples of these features that characterize informal register. You have 5 minutes and off you go. So, are you doing it alone or in pairs?
Alone.
Alone. And what is the time limit?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yes, you're doing it alone for the 5 minutes. Start doing. So, 5 minutes passed, and I believe you understand all the materials presented on your handout correctly. And now we will test this. What is colloquialism, Lesa?
Colloquialisms are phrases we use in everyday life.
These are phrases we use in everyday life. Yes. Okay. Can you provide an example? An example?
I reckon.
I reckon, or I have an opinion that. Correct. Then we are moving to slang. Lera, what is slang, and what are some examples of slang words in English?
Slang is language used by specific social groups. Cool, baby, spooky.
So these are words used by specific social groups, like spooky or babe or cool.
Yes.
Right. Then we are moving on to you, Vlad. And what is contraction?
Contractions are shortened verb forms. For example, don't, can't want.
Great. Then, Sasha, it's your turn. You have spoken discourse markers. What are they?
Spoken, actually okay, right.
Spoken discourse markers are actually okay, right? And then the turn is for you, Vladimir. Free punctuation. What does it mean?
Yeah, free punctuation is a use of exclamation marks when necessary or unnecessary.
And finally, Angelina, it goes for you, elliptical sentences. What are they?
Shortened sentences.
They are shortened forms of sentences like ready, all right.
Yes,
You're
I am ready.
Yes, you're ready. Well, thanks. This stage is over, and then we will move on to other stage. So, after we've done the informal register coverage, so you now know why we write to our friends informally and what are some features and characteristics of an informal style. I suggest that we move on onto our structural part. In our structural part, take please your handouts entitled Informal Letter Map and look at the table. The table has 7 constituent parts. The first one is salutation. In this part, we greet a person whom we write in our letter to. For example, Dear John, hi Kate. Then, in the opening paragraph, you might thank your partner for receiving your letter, telling him that you are right, okay, and then stating the location where you spend your winter holidays. For example, I'm writing to you from Sakha, or I hope this letter from Alaska finds you well. Then we are moving on onto our body paragraph. Body paragraph is tripartite. It constitutes of 3 parts: the past reference, present reference, and future reference. In past reference, you retell the experiences you had. For example, yesterday I attended a mammoth museum, or 2 days ago I was skiing at a resort at Anchorage. Then, at the present reference, you are writing about what you are doing now, like in this period of time. For example, now I'm engaging in a volunteer project at Wildlife Conservation Center. And the 5th paragraph of future reference is that what you are planning to do for tomorrow or 2 days after tomorrow. For example, in 2 days there will be a hockey match and I'm lucky that I will be present there. Then we are moving on onto the 6th stage or closing paragraph. Here you say, okay, that's all for now. I hope that you liked my letter. I hope that you'll find my photos beautiful and wonderful, and also tell that you are looking forward to receiving his email in response. And your last part or signing off, it's not just writing your first name. For example, Lesia, Volodya, Angelina, or so on, but writing yours, lots of love, hugs, or warmly yours, and then your letter. So the structure is very clear, it's poignant. So your task will be just to clearly organize all your thoughts and ideas into the structure to make it legible and concise. As I know, you are all aurora hunters, and while describing this really beautiful and majestic atmospheric phenomenon, I strongly encourage you to make your writing more rich and varied, and use other adjectives to describe aurora borealis. For example, spectacular, awesome, amazing, astonishing, and so on. Please feel free to approach the desk, find an interesting word you like, so that to include it into your writing. And moreover, I'd like your writing to be coherent. It means that all ideas should be linked together, and therefore this handout, or linking words in English, will be very beneficial for you. You should say firstly, secondly, moreover, and in addition, furthermore, and other ideas, so that your writing will be a consistent, a coherent whole, and not just a collection of separate yet enticing ideas. Before writing, please note that the handouts you received, this one, are just drafts. Drafts are the documents you can do in pencil. Please note that there is a wording limit for your text. For weaker learners, it is 80 words, and for stronger, at least 100. While writing a draft, you may consult your partners. Then you will receive blank sheets of paper, so that to copy your full texts on your own. Don't be in a hurry. You have 10 minutes to draft your letter. So, 10 minutes elapsed, and now I'll give you blank sheets of paper for you to copy your drafts onto them, and then you'll hand your letters in to me. You have 7 minutes to copy. Okay, time's up. Please stop writing. You've completed your writing, and now you have 3 minutes for self and peer correction. I'll give you checklists with 5 questions. Please tick whether you believe your letter and the letter of your partner corresponded to the following assessment criteria. If they fitted them perfectly, put 10 or excellent. If it was so-so, then average. And if it missed at all or wasn't present, you just mark not or poor. So, you've completed your writing, and now we are moving on to our last activity, which is speaking. Please raise from your seats and mingle. Ask 2 random people from your group what funny or interesting facts about their winter vacations were not included into their letters. You have 10 minutes to complete the task. So, how many people should you ask about their holidays? 2 people. And what's the time limit for this activity?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Off you go. Please do this task.
There is
I said what you do the mouse to a chair of chair.
what can you
I said what you do mouse to a chair
there is
The hike among us was challenging. We were on the verge of death.
Okay, thank you.
What would you like to write about
What
in
would
your
you like to
PS?
write about in your postscript?
We lost our album and he lived, but soon we found.
So, while you were writing and I was monitoring, I saw that one of the most frequent mistake was the interchange of present perfect and past simple tenses when you described past events. For example, I have been there yesterday, I was there yesterday, I have already been there. Or, he has not visited the museum yesterday. He did not visit the museum yesterday. He has not visited the museum yesterday. Please note that when there is a specific time point in the past or a time marker yesterday, you use past simple. When the action took place in the past, but at some point unspecified, which means that you don't know when it took place, you use present perfect. Therefore, I have been there yesterday, or he has not visited the museum yesterday, are the sentences which are grammatically incorrect, since they put a mixture of tenses that cannot be used in regular English. But I was there yesterday, he didn't visit the museum yesterday, or I have already been there, he has not visited the museum yet, are grammatically correct ones. All in all, I'd like to point out that you managed to complete the task. You participated actively. Your mingling discussion was vibrant and full of life. And I only wish you completed these amazing journeys to the southern or northern hemispheres and then share some astonishing and amazing pictures of yours with me. Now we conclude the task. See you next time and goodbye.